All right, so for Mamma Makwaba, about GH Politics Avenue, Hana Upe, all the trending political stories in Ghana on Sat Bitumi, I can never send the Edibedamu. A year, Professor Frimpong Boatin, the first Ghanaian to do heart transplant or Germany Abontensu, and Dr. Nyaho Tamokro, seasoned medical doctor, practitioner, and Emma Mi Christine, Amwakunyama, and the DMPP NDC. NCPP akogina court over delegate based voting system no so omasem ne say delegate ayo moto abayi franka atufo ene empanimfo mo de party ano no san hye no etia ye Ghana ye kabi maminkabi amamu no na court nhwe no wonyi san firo na omo obia osefata so ye party babia no ento aban enyi san akandifo no rather than say be delegate system na mudi sam koda court na be yen sem buburi ha no bi amanfo kire madwen o wesi eye wesi enye mi ko tete videos ni bi mra ba they can be another mom say them dika kan I Ghana Politics Avenue open all the trending podcast service in Ghana heya na onsa ebe kan mi ko tete videos ni bi mra ba de di obi a ye be mom na ya ma monsa aka.
And you have not been working for the party. I haven't seen you work for the party in any way. So people who sit behind their rooms and do their own thing, and when it comes to voting, they want to come and elect leaders, should not be given the opportunity. Prof, you can't tell me that I can get up and try to become a surgeon, just like a heart surgeon, just because I think that myself and you, we are of the same age, and you are a surgeon. Why am I not? So I will have to also force my... You went to school and I didn't go. The people contested elections. Prof, you did not contest. The people availed themselves. You never availed yourself. So you see what they are sending to court. I don't even understand it.
Okay.
The delegates.
Yeah.
These are people that everything that happened, it was the national the National Congress that brought out the delegates. How many people should rule? It's like the Supreme Court. Political parties are being run by a Supreme Court called the National Congress. So National Congress decision can never be undone by any court, because the court respects the National Congress of our parties, because it's not infringing on anybody. It is all people in the party that came together to say that this is what we should do. So it is like a Supreme Court giving it verdict. So now you will see that the National Executive Council, which is made up of the national executives, the Council of Elders, constituencies, whatever. Those national constituency is not part. Regional chairman, we have regional chairmen and secretaries. We have the national executives. We have Council of Elders. We have so many people who form the National Executive Council. And before Congress will dissolve, they give them the power, like the Supreme Court giving the appeal court power. Run things for 4 years. After 4 years, come and I will look at the issues and see. Do you understand? I don't know whether he's aware of this. So you,
that is what he wants to change, because he feels that it is not making certain people, and it's the same Supreme Court.
Because the National Delegate Congress decision cannot be changed by anybody.
Okay.
He can send them to court and they will change it.
All right.
It's an administration. He joined it freely. If he's not interested, he should leave.
I'll come back to you again. I'll come back to you again. But let me have a thought of Teresa as well and what she also thinks. But you can also join us with your messages. Send us to WhatsApp line is active. We're streaming live on Facebook as well, so you can also send your messages over there and let us know what you think about it. 3 individuals, statesmen that have actually sent this to court, and they want reliefs on that, and that's what we're talking about. And before I take the thought of Teresa, let me also welcome Grace Akosia Amwaben. She's also communications team member for the NPP, joining us today. I've been very blessed with 3 very distinguished women, and so yes, it's a privilege for me. A very good morning to you, Grace. I hope you're good. All right, I'm very well. Thanks a lot for coming and making time for us this morning. It's your first time, right? Here in the studio. Oh, you've always been here. Oh, so you were part of the women on Tuesdays, right?
Yes.
Oh, great. Then you're a family already.
Yes.
Great stuff. Thank you.
I think this is the first time meeting you.
Me, exactly.
I always meet Rosalie.
Yes. I had to do this for her to do. So yes, it's good to have you, by the way. Thank you so much.
You too.
Great. All right. So let me take the thought of Teresa, and then I'll come to you, Grace. Teresa.
Yes, brother. Sorry.
some of these issues, you see, for me, I can appreciate where they are coming from, even though I might still have some challenges. It is important to note that NDC as a party has really tried that before, where we used the entire voters of NDC to, as it were, go through the process and see. It had its own challenges. So for the revered men of our country to raise some of these challenges, it has. It looks at, you look at it from both sides.
Okay.
What are they seeking to improve? Okay. I really don't think that Professor Frimpong, I really don't think their interest is about being on the delegate list and voting. Really, I really don't think that is what they seek to, as at the end of it, or that is what they want. But it is just to strengthen our electoral college, get things better as a country. This youth is against all big political parties.
Yeah.
We as a party over the years have worked on it, trying to improve on delegate lists. I can understand that most of the times and sometimes because of the delegates list, people are able to have their way. Our electoral process now has been dominated by money.
Yeah.
There are days that you see that this is a good candidate. Grace might be a very good candidate. You can think that this person can do the job. At the end of the day, because I'm able to pull some strings and then, bribe my way out, then the power comes to me. But listen, I am saying that this is a process that I am a bit indifferent about it this morning. I am not too sure where to, and I'm being frank, because I'm looking at it, okay, and the Supreme Court, they are there to interpret every, listen, as political parties, we might have our constitution, we might have whatever it is, but the constitution of Ghana supersedes every constitution of every organization and is subject to interpretation. So I am not going to fault them because it is their right. At the end of the day, the court will decide and then see if there is any merit in whatever they are putting across. But it is important to note that NDC as a party, we've also gone through this series of challenges where the voting college is open. There are days you open the number of people to vote so high, you realize that it comes another voting time, you're trying to enclose the number of people, delegates to vote. I am saying that all these are challenges. If this year we are voting and then you see about, let's say, about 20,000 delegates, the next election in 2 years, you see about 10 or 15,000 delegates. It goes to tell you that probably the first voting, there were some misgivings that went on. We are all trying. The point is, trying to get it right and make it right is the most important thing. So for me, it's their right. I've seen Honorable Defia Mokpo got the opportunity into Parliament because for NDC we opened up and then allowed a lot of people. And he has never disappointed the NDC and Ghana as a whole. So of course, if the court sees merit in what they are saying and the court says that let's open it up and see, well, we live to see. So for me, I'm just hoping that, but I'm not too sure if it has not come a little too late, because how many days more to...
Yeah, we have a couple of these elections happening.
Exactly,
so
and I was wondering the timing. Yeah. I mean, why were they... But hey, let's see how it goes.
Okay, very well. We'll also be joined by Amanda Clayton. She's a lawyer, MSc African Politics and COAS in London. She's also joining us via Zoom. Let me see if I can interact with her for a couple of minutes. Amanda, if you can hear me, good morning.
Good morning.
Great. Thanks for your time. I'm grateful you were able to join us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, what was the first thing that came to mind when you saw this lawsuit?
Ultimately, they're arguing that, this is public in terms of internal party organizations is constitutionally relevant and subject to democratic standards. So it's not purely private. What I also thought was, the Dr. Bawumia and the other candidates, this is perhaps relevant to them in particular, because under a delegate system, the numbers that mattered is not crowd sizes or grassroots enthusiasm, but relationships, networks, and the institutional familiarity. So it's going to be very interesting how the court interprets this.
Now, one of the issues or the argument is the fact that it's disenfranchised certain people. Legitimately, you think that this is a good call in terms of that aspect of it?
It is a good call, but the court is unlikely to declare all delegate systems unconstitutional. You know what I mean? But it is a good call because I do believe that the popular vote matters. But the delegate system has been introduced, for a number of reasons. And those include to prevent, fragmentation, to impose discipline. And initially, leaders feared that mass participation would inflame ethnic division, etc. So there is reasoning behind it. But when you look at the Bawumia situation, etc., within that NPP party, the other candidate is unlikely to win in a delegate system just because of how it's set up. So perhaps this is why this petition is being brought. I'm not sure.
Now, if you check, they mentioned 3 top political parties. They added the Attorney General and also the EC to this very lawsuit as well. Now, do you think that all of these people have got a good chance of defending, the issue in court?
Yes, the EC is very relevant in relation to this, and so are the major parties. Why they will defend the delegate system in particular. But I think it does invite a conversation, one that must be had in terms of, is this where power lies, just the delegate system? And if so, does that mean the candidates that people want might not be able to overcome that? So it's very good for a conversation, but I do think, the Supreme Court is not likely to interfere too much because these are internal rules.
Very well, Amanda, stay with me. I'll come back to you in a couple of minutes. But let me get back to Grace. Grace, I want to know, the person involved, Professor, is involved in this. I mean, in recent times, we've seen what Professor has done in terms of where he stands with the political party that he belongs. Now, the timing, pushing this, especially when we have an elections that is coming up on Saturday, you think this is a good call? It's maybe one of those things you may probably say is propaganda from the good old professor.
First of all, I want to greet your viewers, and I want to say good morning to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He's still campaigning in the Ashanti region. Her Excellency, the former Second Lady, Samira Bawumia, is also campaigning in Greater Accra. I think she'll be in Addo this afternoon. And all I want to say is on the 31st of January 2026, delegates should go out and vote for a candidate who can unite the party after these elections. And I believe the right candidate that we have marketed and sold to Ghanaians is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So when they go out on Saturday, please do well to vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to be there. We should still maintain Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the flag bearer of the NPP. Back to this, the conversation on the table. I think this is not about NPP and DC, because if you look at the petition, it doesn't talk about just the MPP. It talks about the CPP and it talks about the NDC. If you look at the delegate system, I think there's a reason why we have the delegate system here in Ghana. And if you look at when the party was formed to date, there have been changes during every period. And I think the NDC got to a point, I think in 2015, where they opened the electoral college to almost everybody. And I think they experienced some challenges. So they reversed back in 2019 before they went for ahead of their primaries. And I think we should look at the challenges that they face. I think one of the reasons why they put this thing up was to stop people from giving out monies to curb that issue. But it didn't work out, because at the end of the day, nobody would want to, people are given. Nobody wants to sit down. If you're a leader and you want to win an election and you see your opponent doing something, I don't think you will sit down and say, because the party opened it up and they are not giving, people are not giving out, we are not supposed to give out monies. You will sit down quietly and watch your opponent
when it's the thing that is ongoing.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think there are some, when we come back, I'll look at the challenges that they faced before they reversed it back to the delegate system, where they closed it up again, because they opened it up. We haven't opened, the MPP hasn't opened it up before, but then we have expanded it. And even now, we expanded it to the old MPs, old executives to also join. So it's a process. Anytime we see a challenge, you try to, as a party, you try to see
manage it,
how you can. But I think opening it up is not going to solve that issue if we don't get the roots, the root cause of all these. If we don't get it right, opening it up will even worsen it. Because at the end of the day, I don't know if whatever reason why we opened it up now is working. But I'm sure after the voting, people will know, the party will know whether it worked out for us or not. But I think there's a reason why the NDC closed it up in 2019 ahead of their primaries in 2020, and it should be looked at. I think I'll look at it when we come back. So with them taking this matter to court, I don't think people have proposed it. A lot of people have proposed this what they sent to court. And I think this is the first
opening up to the general public.
Opening up to the general public. This is the first time it has really gone to the court, and we are waiting to see the outcome of it. But I don't think it's new. It's something that people have been saying all the time. But then coming from him, I don't think he's the only person. There are three of them. Three
Dr. Nyawo is part of it.
So I don't think. And then she's saying, looking at the time is too short. Maybe it wasn't. They are doing it for the future, not because of this. I don't see it as propaganda. Maybe they've sat down and they've thought about it and they think, no.
But I made it.
She said propaganda.
I made it, and I stated the reason why. I stated the reason why.
Propaganda.
Yeah.
So I am.
And I get the reason why for saying that, actually.
Maybe let's just give him the benefits of the doubt. The three people sat down and they thought that this is a good. They've been in the different parties and they think it is right at this time that somebody should take this matter to court. And I think I said here that this is not the first time this has been proposed, but this is the first time they've actually taken it to the court for the court to sit over this. And I think we will all just wait to see the outcome, but we are still going ahead with our primaries on the 31st of May. It doesn't affect anything. And I believe that the party also has its own reason why they have the delegate system. So
they would have to defend that in court.
So we'll just have to wait for the outcome. But for now, we'll still use our delegate system to run our elections on the 31st of January 2026. So for me, I have my own concerns, because opening it up, anybody, I can be in MPP and still go and pay for NDC dues and vote. So there are reasons, they have to weigh the reasons why they have the delegate system. You are supposed to vote somebody to represent you in your constituency. So the people in good standing in the community would say, okay, I want Honorable to represent us as a chairman. So the chairman doesn't become a chairman on his own. The good people of the MPP in the community votes someone to become a polling station agents, the police station agents vote for somebody to become a chairman, a women's organizer, and all that. So it is not just people who are just walking around who vote. They are also people in good standing. And then it curbs that issue of anybody just getting up to vote for a leader in the MPP or in the NDC. Like I said, if you open it up, I can go pay my dues religiously in the NDC and I will vote for the NDC.
And that becomes a challenge.
Exactly. So we should weigh both issues. There are good, there are advantages and disadvantages. So if the party sits down and feels like, okay, we have more advantage here than this particular one, then the party will decide to go with this. So, and it's also, when it comes to the balloting, papers, all that, it's a lot of money. Because the party has to put a lot of money to be able to organize an election. If you are going for every primaries and everybody in NPP is supposed to vote, imagine the amount of money that will go into that election. So I'm sure they are looking at the financial constraints too when it comes to everybody voting in the party. That is why they trust that the people in the MPP or in the NDC will vote somebody to represent them to choose a leader. So that is what I think. So if they go to we will just wait for the outcome. But for now, I think that every party should look at their dynamics, their systems, what works for them, and then they use that to select a leader.
Very well. I'll come back to you again, but let me find out from Janet. So one of the background of this whole thing is the fact that we're practicing democracy. And in democracy, you don't now protract it and make it look like a certain group of people can actually be the decision-making body. And so it restricts certain individuals from also, being a part of the process. And that's one of the arguments that they are making. If we're saying we're practicing democracy, and at the end of the day, we are limiting certain people from also exercising their rights, then what's the point?
Ghana, we are practicing democracy. I want to work in the bank. Maybe I've done accounting, but they pick other people. They are infringing on my rights. They infringe on my rights by
not giving you the job. That's the prerogative of the company to decide who they pay.
Prerogative of the political party. Political parties in Ghana, the constitution has given mandate to freedom of association.
All right, so for them, I'm saying Ghana Politics Avenue, who all the trending podcast stories in Ghana. Hey, na unsa bitumi akan enen didi kan ba channel you be so say di kan obe subscribe to channel na notification bell na ono do unsa aboso na face video we be like no share ma afoforo nya bi na didi a chire no comment section no me hu adun che for video ya bo amwati no nyi nyina ento ato adun hu kwan be fa so a betimi aboa amaga na kebi amamu na akoso na atumpo ya da mu nyina ma sesema djibre na mu de tie and Ghana Politics Avenue, Akroma.